Edmond in Massachusetts.
How are you?
Hello. Good. We're short on time, and I feel really bad.
It says right here that you want to talk about the ways people suspend reason.
Yes.
Yes, that is true. So I was hoping you guys can help me out, flesh out an idea that can kind of been bothering me.
Let's get it in a nutshell so that we can try and get. Generally I want to kind of skip the lead up and get into the meetings one time. It's nothing about Edmond. Edmond, I'm sure you're a wonderful person.
Sure. No worries. So first of all, I wanted to ask if we all agree that religiosity and belief in the supernatural, blah blah, is one of these human ideas that kind of suspend reason. It's a proposition that asks you first and foremost to suspend your logic and just turn off your brain.
In certain areas.
Agreement on that?
Yeah, I would say that in general, I find insufficient reasons and certainly insufficient evidence to conclude that the supernatural exists.
I mean, I've met plenty of religious people who, though they are heavily indoctrinated, are still able to use reason. So I wouldn't go so far as to say that it suspends reason everywhere.
But certainly
not everywhere, but for the specific concept of the existence of, something, something supernatural for that particular little corner. And then my follow-up question would be, should we try, as a society or a group of people to minimize these ideas in our societies, or to try to minimize the propositions that lead to the suspense of reason? And what do you guys?
In general, I think that we should favor reasonableness over a lack of reasonableness, and that scientific skepticism is the best way to understand the world around us and come to beliefs that are more likely to be true.
All right. Good. So then that's kind of the point where my question that has been bothering me comes in. I would really appreciate if you guys can help me flesh it out. It's like the concept of monogamy and traditional binary families, that kind of idea that you shall love a person for the rest of your life and blah, 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 kind of has the same feeling, the same kind of colors, smells like religiosity and belief in the supernatural. And it's basically, to me, it has been this idea in my mind that it's kind of this one other example of human behavior that kind of requires you to turn off your reasoning and turn off your logic. And hence, kind of, if you put it in the Sam Harris kind of focus lens, it's not one of these things that helps us maximize well-being and, minimize unnecessary suffering. But regardless of all of these, everyone is, very normalized in accepting, you have your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Everyone will go on and build a binary family. Everyone gets married and gets congratulations. It doesn't go into the same level of scrutiny as we put, modern religions and pull out the bullshit. And it's kind of been bothering me, and I just wanted you guys to help me figure out where my fallacy is in that trail of reasoning.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you describe is that you are questioning social norms and mores, specifically with regard to lifelong committed monogamy to a specific person. And what I would say is placing that in the same category as believing in fairies is, I think, a miscategorization, because a belief in fairies is a statement about the way the world does work, with physics, etc., and a statement of you should get married and stay married for your entire life is a statement of what you should do, right? So in the same way that our culture teaches us to wipe our feet when we enter a building, modern American culture prevailingly supports monogamy as the norm. And what I would say is, if you have questions about whether or not aspects of culture are beneficial to human beings, that's certainly something that should be discussed. But claiming that it is false is a mistake, because it's not a statement of fact. It's a statement of
I agree with you. And I always, try to massage what I'm thinking in order not to make that mistake. It's more kind of like you're thinking, when I'm thinking all of the patterns that religiosity shows, like, it's everywhere. You go buy eggs and you see 500 churches, or you open a movie and you see God being called upon and whatever. It's kind of the same pattern. So I agree with you. I'm trying not to make the miscategorization, but I'm seeing, it walks like a duck It talks like a duck.
So what?
A duck in the end of the day. Maybe it's not a duck, but should we raise our level of awareness to the point of questioning, hey, the same kind of algorithm we're using to tear down all the bullshit with regards to religion, maybe we should use them here as well. Maybe there's something behind that particular duck.
I think that I can agree with you. I think that if you're saying that you see something similar in people that do not question their religious belief, and or rather the act of not questioning your religious beliefs and the act of not questioning the social mores that you accept, I think I can agree with you that things that humans do and things that humans believe should be critically examined.
Right. And with specific focus on this, the monogamy kind of thing, with respect to, the thing that has been kind of stuck in my mind is this idea of we kind of left unaccounted the amount of suffering that goes into this idolization of a single person, also with respect to, interpersonal relationships like me and you, or even me, you, and the kids that are going to spring up from that relationship. Sure. Especially when I compare it in my mind with an alternative, I don't know, an alternative could be more community-based where, the chances of you growing up with a shitty parent kind of get less and less the more people you have to identify as your parents. Kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a very raw idea in my mind. But
there are a lot of very interesting points to examine about this. And let me tell you why this is a perfect discussion for our Reddit/r/talkheathen, because there is a lot of research into child development and best ways of raising children, etc. And those would be references that I would need to look at before I made a statement about nuclear families versus individual, I'm not a psychologist, certainly not a developmental one. And what I would say is, as far as your personal life goes, as long as everyone involved is informed and enthusiastically consents, go for it, man.
Well,
Additionally, I would point you to 2 shows that the ACA does produce, Parenting Beyond Belief and Secular Sexuality.
Secular sexuality would be great for this.
Yeah.
All right.
But we've got our producer in our ear again. I think at this point he's just trying to see how fast we can go.
Take care, buddy.
One last question. Question, guys. Do you know any kind of atheist groups in Massachusetts? Because we're pretty dry up here.
Ooh. Actually, we do have people reach out, and they do reach out on the Reddit.
Yeah.
Go to the Reddit.
Reach out on the Reddit and send us an email, and we'll see if we know anyone. Also, Google's great.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Take care.